Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a video that is really important to me and something I wanted to kind of address and talk about. Before I get started, I do want to say though that all of the kind messages and comments and the love and support that I get from you guys far outweighs anything negative that is ever said to me, and I truly do understand how lucky I am to have you guys to be supportive of me and to care to watch my videos and comment on my photos and just genuinely be there for me, and especially come to my aid or my rescue when some things are said about me that are wrong or bad. And I just want you guys to know that I do focus on the positive aspects of YouTube and my channel way more than the negative. But I think by talking about this, I can maybe open a bigger discussion. And for me, I want to use my channel as a place to, better the world in any way that I can, even my small contribution of just helping girls be nicer to each other and be more supportive of one another. And if I can at least change someone's way of thinking and maybe help someone to see, I guess, the wrong in their actions, or maybe help them to understand just that words can hurt, and you don't have to be mean and negative to people to get a point across or to just be heard, then that is the least that I can do, and that's really important to me. So with all that being said, I did want to talk about my last video, which was the DIY Simple and Sexy Halloween costume. It was a crime scene look, so basically I took a swimsuit top and then a skirt, and I wrapped the skirt and the top in like crime scene tape, and then I did like a big bloody thing on my neck, and overall I thought it was a really cute, kind of clever, and a little bit different of a costume. I know for high school and college parties, a lot of times girls show up in like the same Halloween costume, so I thought of making something that, number one, was cheap. I mean, literally under $10 to create that whole costume. Number two, it was really simple and easy. It took me less probably than, 30 minutes to an hour to create the whole costume and the makeup and all that kind of stuff, but also just something kind of unique, so you would stand out a bit at a Halloween party and not everyone would be wearing the exact same thing as you. Now, I did receive a lot of comments, more so on Instagram, I would say, on the picture of my costume, calling me a slut and a whore and saying that I looked trashy and that I was a bad role model and that people were disappointed in me. And there were a few mean comments on the video as well, a few really, pardon, I guess, my language, but a few very ignorant comments as well, and just people that were not at all understanding the idea of the costume, but more than that, they didn't know me or my channel or anything that I'm about or anything that I try to strive for on my channel. And I think that's more the reason that I want to address this. Not because I can't deal with the hate or I can't, handle the harsh comments. I understand that. I think when you open yourself up on a public platform like I do by making these videos, of course I'm going to get some people that don't take the time to understand me, don't care to understand me, and they're just going to leave a mean, hurtful comment, and I understand that, and I've been doing videos since I was like 13, so I definitely have grown up with that, and I've developed a thicker skin for it. But the comments that still get to me and that just really upset me and almost just make me sad for the person leaving them are the comments that I get from girls calling me or each other like sluts and whores and hoes and that kind of thing. I am so incredibly against that, and I think it's so degrading and sad and just really honestly, kind of dumb, I guess, to call another woman that, and especially because I was wearing a revealing outfit, which I think if you guys have been to, college or high school Halloween parties, you know that a lot of the costumes that they sell are very revealing, and if not more revealing than that costume that I made. And I also received some comments of people, suggesting that if the top was too low cut for your liking or you didn't want to be as exposed, you could always put more tape, up around the top or anything like that. The skirt I had on almost hit to my knees. Barely any of my stomach was showing, but yes, a little bit of my cleavage was showing because naturally I have large boobs. And this has been something that I have dealt with and discussed previously on my channel. When I've worn a swimsuit on Instagram, I've gotten comments saying like, oh, this picture's inappropriate, like you're trying to show off your boobs, like all this kind of stuff, which I'm definitely not. I think I have always struggled, with being confident in my own body, which I know a lot of girls deal with, but I think if you've watched my channel for a long time, you probably know that. For me, I have to work really hard to stay in shape and to just, love and feel good about my body. And so within the past, 6 months, I really have been trying to work out almost every day, eat really healthy, and just really take care of myself. And I have liked the way that I've begun to look, and I really have just felt better about myself. And I have felt, proud of my body. And when I want to go out and I want to get dressed up and I want to look sexy and flirty and feminine, I celebrate my body and my curves and the things that I like about myself. But I do understand that that's not everyone's style. You know, some people would like to be a bit more covered up or don't want to show off different parts of their body, and that's so incredibly, perfectly fine and understandable. But what I ask is that you don't judge other girls and women for what they want to wear, and you don't say such harsh, hurtful words to describe them because they're showing skin. I just think that's so terrible, and it really bothers me. And I think from, you know, moving on from this, I guess, video on my channel and on my Instagram, I'm not going to tolerate people saying slut and whore and hoe and all those words, because I do want younger girls who happen to watch my videos to not be influenced by that, because it's really not okay to call people that, and I don't want other girls to see that and think that that's a good way to act, because it's really not. I think it's even more hurtful that they come from girls. I think, you know, if a guy said it, I honestly don't get mean comments from guys. I know a lot more girls watch my videos than guys do, but I really don't get those hurtful comments from guys. It's always always girls, and that honestly makes it a lot worse to me, because I think girls should stick together and we should support one another and we should help each other, and being a girl can be really tough. I'm sure you guys all know this, but it can be hard. You know, girls can be vicious, but why would you want to go out of your way to make another girl feel bad about themselves? Like, I don't understand the mentality behind that, or why someone would ever feel like they needed to do that. I'm a very open-minded person. I think that everyone should be able to do whatever they want as long as it's not hurting or affecting me. Like, I don't judge people. You know, what you want to wear, what you want to do, all that kind of stuff. It's your own life. And I like to focus on myself and focus on bettering myself and being the best version that I can be, that I just don't have the time or energy or desire to tear apart other people and to just put them down and make them feel bad. With that said, I did want to go ahead and let you guys know that I am 20 years old, and I'm making this video because one small part of me was really upset and really offended by these mean comments that I was receiving from girls. But another part of me thought that maybe, honestly, giving you guys the benefit of the doubt, the ones that left mean comments, maybe you honestly don't know that I'm 20 years old. Maybe you think I'm 14 or 15 or 13 or 12. And even though I don't think it's still acceptable to call a girl those mean names, even if she is younger, I think that maybe realizing that I'm over the age of 18, you know, I'm an adult, I'm a woman, and I have grown up on YouTube, I think is something that I needed to just address and say. And I do understand why you might be confused, because there are many, many girls on YouTube that make the same videos that I make, like beauty, fashion, that kind of stuff, that are my age or older than me, a lot older than me, maybe 4 or 5 years older, 2 or 3 years older, whatever, that act like they're 14 or 15 or in middle school or still in high school or whatever. And it's almost become a bit of like a mini movie type of thing, and I think they're kind of more so playing like a role. They're kind of acting in their videos, which is totally fine. Like I said, I'm not here to judge anyone else, because whatever someone else wants to do really doesn't have anything to do with me, but I think it can be confusing to the viewers that think and compare me to other girls that are making videos and think I just happen to be super over the top and super revealing and sexy and just inappropriate and all that kind of stuff, when these other girls that you're also watching are my same age, if not older than me, and are just choosing to go more towards a younger audience, and they're choosing to kind of act a different age and a different demographic to please the people that are watching their videos. And something that I have always done and said from the very beginning of YouTube is I am going to be 100% real and true to myself. I like to share personal information about myself. I like to be very, very real and raw, and I never want to pretend to be something that I'm not. Even with, you know, growing up and meeting people, one of the first questions I get asked is, what do you do? You know, what's your hobby? What do you do for work? What do you like to do in your free time? All that kind of stuff gets asked. And I explain to people about my YouTube videos, and they'll go home and watch them, and they'll say, oh, like, you know, I love your videos. I loved seeing, you know, you talk about this or whatever. And people will meet me and they're like, you're exactly how you are in your videos. And like, that's something that's so important to me, because I would never want to be creating a video or putting something out online that wasn't a true representation of myself. And that is my own personal opinion. Like I said, I'm not judging anyone for the types of videos or, you know, the way they want to do their videos, but for me, you guys are always going to get 100% the real me. And with that being said, I am 20 years old, I'm growing up, and with that, you just have to realize that I'm going to be acting a bit older, because I am becoming older and I'm growing and changing, and I would hope that almost everyone would go through that, because starting something when you are like 13 to 20 is such a huge period of, you know, emotional growth, physical change, and just hopefully you figuring out who you want to be and the way that you want to represent yourself. And that's perfectly fine if it happens to change. I think it probably should change a bit. You should grow and learn and kind of better yourself and figure out, you know, the type of person that you want to be. So I just hope that you guys can understand that, and you can understand my frustration in the comments of people saying that, you know, you're acting like a slut now and you've changed and all this stuff. Like, I've just grown up, and I want you guys to understand that. And if you didn't know that, I guess now you know. I did also want to mention one comment on Instagram that really upset me, but it's honestly like a whole other topic, and it was from a lady who claimed she was a mother, and she said she had a daughter that was 17, and she was raising her daughter to dress very modest because of hormones of other boys and men that would not be able to control themselves if her daughter was dressed provocatively. And this comment really upset me and kind of annoyed me, and I just think that's a very outdated way of thinking. You know, it goes into the whole conversation about school dress code, you know, girls not being able to wear yoga pants to school or being able to wear spaghetti straps or shorts because it might distract boys and stuff. I just think, like I said, that could be a whole nother video topic that I'm not even going to get into. But at the end of the day, I think I am a good person, and I know I at least am making an effort to be a good person. So with all that being said, I want you guys to remember that on my channel, I want this to be a positive place for women and girls. I want you to be able to come here and feel safe, feel confident in your body, learn to love yourself, and also learn to empower and compliment other people. And I think it comes down to the very age-old saying of, if you don't have anything nice to say to someone, maybe don't say anything at all. And moving on from this point, I just want my channel to be positive and be a place like that. So if you are the type of person that wants to call girls sluts and whores and all those degrading names because of what they wear or choose to do or act, I really do not want you as a viewer, because I don't like that, and I don't think that helps anyone. It's not positive, it's not going to make people feel better about themselves, and I will just not support it and stand for it on my channel. So like I said, for the most part, you guys are absolutely amazing. Your support means the world to me. I want to open this up as a discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.